Hi guys, Coach Joe Micela, Performance One Advanced Sports Training, 2012 Olympic team coach for the sport of Olympic weightlifting. We've been asked a lot about, hey coach, I have a plateau in my squat. It doesn't seem like it's moving anymore, or conventional training for the squat has not really helped move my numbers up. They've tried everything, high volume, low reps, speedy reps. What other techniques that they could use to help them break through some of these plateaus, or just add variety throughout the course of the year into your training programs, particularly for your squat. And we're going to mainly talk about the back squat today. And we'll have another video another time talking about how to implement different programming variations for the front squat. And some of these things that we're going to talk about today can carry over to the front squat as well. So the first one we like to talk about is eccentric squats. Taking that rep on the descent of your squat very slowly. How slow? We like to be anywhere between a 3 up to a 5 count with a pause at the bottom, and then you're going to go up. 2 variations is that the same speed that you went down, 5 count down, with a pause and then a 5 count up. Okay, that would be a tremendous amount of time under tension. Why is this beneficial? If you have a problem with your knees collapsing on a squat, or you get buried into a clean and you don't have that static leg strength to come out, or as you're coming off the ground into your clean, you're constantly shooting your butt up and you can't maintain position. Eccentrics are very good at helping developing that tendon strength, that in-between strength that we like to say that an athlete has, of strength of holding a position and then moving through position without any deviation in the position. So we're going to take this bar, it's only got about 60 kilos, we're going to go over that movement where we're going to have a 5 count descent. Okay, so when we get under the bar, we place our feet. I like my wrist to be neutral. Again, high bar back position. I don't want an extended wrist so the bar feels like it's falling off my back. I am more of a neutral position. We stand up, take our 2 steps, securing our position, unlocking the hips. What we don't do is push our hips back first to commence the movement. The second I do that, puts a lot of extra tension on my lower back. I'm thinking vertical. Now I'm going to go through, in my head, I'm going to think of a cadence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hit depth, I pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not coming to the complete lockout. And again, I repeat the position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I would lock it out, and then I would come in. This movement is very intense on the body. Percentages are going to be between that 60 maximum up to 80%. If you're looking for more hypertrophy of the legs, stay in that 8 to 10 rep range, 3 to 5 sets. But I will tell you this, if you're going to do this, cut down the volume on your Olympic lifts because your legs will be fried for a couple days afterwards. If you can work up to that 70 to 80% for a set of 5 with that tempo, with that pause for at least 5 sets, it's going to be very challenging on your body. But if you do that for 3 to 5 weeks, at least 1 day a week of your training cycle, your legs will grow dramatically. You will develop that tendon and ligament strength and that sense of control throughout your entire position of your squat. When we get a little closer, so I would use this exercise of this pretty far away from competition. As we get a little bit closer to the competition, one drill that we like to add with this is that we may only do 3 reps as an eccentric and then immediately go into a faster paced rep. And we usually call it 3 by 5. So we'll do 3 slow and then 5 fast at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I come up, regular speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I come up regular speed. Last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? Trying to now move that bar. So we're now fatiguing that eccentric, okay, phase of the movement. What is going to fatigue faster? Concentric, eccentric. Concentric is going to fatigue faster. But I'm working on that control, on that eccentric phase, that downward phase, building up all that tension, filling those muscles up with a lot of blood. And then I'm expected to go, 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 go. Okay, so now there's a speed component. Now there's an explosive component. But I'm also training the body when you're tired to now move. Switching gears from a muscle fiber type. Okay, switching this gear of slow and controlled, time under tension, but now go, 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 go. And I like this approach. Again, how many sets and reps? The working sets could be anywhere between 3 sets up to about 6. This is very intense. You probably can use more weight than you did in the previous drill of just a pure eccentric with a pause. If you notice the difference on this one is I went eccentric down and came up regular, eccentric down and came up regular, and then went rapid fire. Okay, that is again another way. 1 day a week, again, not too far away from competition, but somewhere it could be, like I said, within that 4 to 5 months of competition, you could use this drill. How often? Once a week, maybe for 3 to 4 weeks maximum. It's gonna give you that different set of neural pattern to fire. Part control, part hypertrophy, and then going immediately into that concentric phase. That when you go back to regular squats of a regular speed, you're gonna feel like you have that little bit more control. You're gonna feel like you have a little bit extra in the tank. Okay, when people we've done both of these drills with for anywhere between 4 to 8 weeks period of time, see a dramatic increase in their squat. What's dramatic? 10, 15, up to 20 kilos, 25 kilos into their squat. Okay, is it a 100 kilo jump? No, but it can make a difference if you're struggling to stay at one particular spot. The other movement that we like to add for our athletes is tempo or speed movement, so that the entire movement has been timed. There's a lot of devices on the market now that can time your velocity of your squat, the velocity of your snatch, velocity of your clean. There is a lot of good research to look at that, okay? Whether it be a tendo unit or a push unit or some of these other units that you can now use to monitor that. It's another variable to measure. So not only we're measuring the weight on the bar, our load, we're measuring now the repetitions of how many we're doing and combining those, and then we're also looking at the velocity to the speed at that percentage of intensity. So then you can now just say, hey, I'm getting closer to the competition. Maybe super heavy weights is not my absolute goal, but what can I mimic that movement? I can't always lift super heavy. Maybe I have an injury. Maybe I have something else. Maybe just it takes me longer to recover from super heavy squats. Well, I can now go at 70% or 80%, but I can move it really fast. Okay, mass times acceleration. So either you have a great mass moving it not so fast, or you have a little bit less mass, but you're moving it faster. Okay, their power outputs could almost look very similar. Okay, but it's less beating up on your body with sometimes the heavier weight. If you don't have one of these wearable components that can measure your velocity, you could just have a coach or a teammate measure the bar velocity, your time of the movement, with a stopwatch. So you would get set, get under in your foot stance, give your nod to your teammate, I'm ready, and they either give you a countdown or you do it on yourself. 3, 2, 1, boom, 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 okay? We did it in whatever, 3.5 seconds, okay? I'm just using, I didn't time myself. But 3.5 seconds, great. Now be consistent, okay, with that number. And that may take you a couple workouts to determine at a certain velocity, at a certain percentage of intensity, what's ideal for you. You want to be consistent. So I don't want one set of 3 reps at 3.5 seconds, the next one at 4.5, the set after that at 5.5, and the set after that at 6.6. I would want 3.5, 3.49, 3.51, 3.52, 3.44. Like I want them to be all within that 10th, okay, or 100th of a second that I know that I'm being consistent. And it gives me another variable. Now you have to be on the honor system to know that I actually achieve the same repetition depth every time. That's where you have to be solid and your teammate or your coach has to be solid to tell you, hey, you are high. That's what's the problem with some of these units. They don't know. There's not a repetition scale that it says, hey, I went the full depth and up. You have to eyeball it and get to tell them. Some people just move fast. I know that was a problem with one of the tendo units and some of these other things. They just measure the bar moving, but it doesn't know what your actual range of motion is. So we want to have that consistent, but it can give you that other variable that you can look at. So I'm at whatever, my percentage. Say this was 80% for me, and I'm doing sets of 3. Again, I can go, all right, I hit 3.5 on average in week 1. All right, week 2, I want to be at that or better. And my ultimate goal is to get to 3.3. So now I have to have more effort. Because we could have 4 guys all training 80% for 5 sets of 3, and one guy's going do. He's doing his. The other one's going bonkers. And the other one guy is doing like a 5-cent eccentric. It's taking 5 to 8 seconds to get up. One theory is that, well, all 3 of them are moving 80 kilos or 80% for 3 reps. So the work is the same. Mine is how efficient is that work? Well, that's where velocity-based training can help. It says, well, Joe did his 3 reps on average of 3.5 seconds. Nate Zawinski did it in 10 seconds. He's slow as shit, okay? So that means that I am more powerful than him. The last drills that we like to do to help you break through that plateau of your squats. And one is doing a heavy set, either for a single or double, and then immediately taking the weight off the bar, and then doing an immediate drop set for either between 5 and 8 repetitions, and then doing a complete rest, and then come back and do it. So the heavy single, and then either the 5 or the 8 reps is actually considered one together set. So we're just gonna imagine we got like 300 kilos on this bar. Normally, you would try to do it with at least 2 other people helping you so that you never actually have to take the weight, rack the weight. Now, if you're doing it by yourself, you're going to have to do it, okay? And then you're just going to have that factor of time. But normally, the best way to do it is if you can get 2 training partners. What we like to do here is that we have like a collar on the bar so it'd be easier for the weights to remove. What is a good differentiation? Anywhere between 40 and 50 kilos. And it could be more. It could be up to like, 80 kilos. But then it's just, again, a factor of time and safety of both the people on either side of you taking that weight off the bar. That's usually when we would rack the weight on and then take it off. If you're going to go greater than 50, why? Because it's easy to put 50 kilo or 25 kilo plate on either side, and then you just immediately take that off. Versus now you're going to do 80 kilos or more, say 100 kilos, you just got to be careful, like the bar just starts going like this. So imagine this is a lot heavier weight than it is, to save my ego, but you would do, again, 1 repetition at a good tempo with almost maximum effort, and then again, immediately release the weight, and then go right into a set again, anywhere between 5 up to 8 repetitions. You could even do a burnout of 10, but like I said, we're going to do multiple sets of this. So again, we're racking our position as we normally did, setting our feet, getting our air set, balance over the middle of our foot. Descend, we drive up as fast as we can go. We immediately would rack the weight. Our partner would then either take the weight off the bar on either side for us. Again, we would just be standing still. If not, we're doing it on our own, and we reset and immediately perform that repetition and then rack. Again, also add a maximum effort. So we have a maximum effort heavy single. At most, I would do 2. Immediately drop the weight while you're either still standing and then your partners are releasing the weight for you. They do make some devices that have weight releases on them. Personally, I never use them. I've always had just athletes, we just rip it off. 1 heavy single max effort, 5 reps up to 8 reps for that immediate drop in weight. So again, this drill should be with weights, your heavy single should be nothing less than 90%. Drops of that, again, is going to be anywhere between a 20 kilo drop to a 40 or 50 kilo drop. So a significant percentage drop down from what you just did. Again, if you're looking at it to be more of endurance based, then I would do 1 or 2 at the heavy, and then anywhere between 8 to 10 on that drop. Then you get a full rest. How long is full rest? Probably 3 minutes, and then repeat it again. How many sets? Minimum 3. You can go as high as 6, okay? You're gonna be pretty fried. Again, what is your goal? To break through that plateau. How often would you perform this? Maybe just once a week. And maybe that second time during the week, maybe you're just doing a regular squat. Again, this can be performed. All the drills we went over today, all these little nuances, these little kind of tricks can be used with the front squat. They're not exclusive to the back squat. We just went over the back squat today for you guys. To recap again, we had an eccentric 3 to 5 second descent with a pause, and then a 3 to 5 second ascent up. Then we had a descent, an eccentric descent, regular speed up for 3 repetitions, followed by 5 at a good tempo, good clip. And we had speed in general where you were timed. How fast could you do that set with proper and full range of motion technique? And then we finished up with this one, okay? We had an overload of weight and then immediate take that weight off, and then we drove through and finished between 5 repetitions, okay? Again, all of these, I would at least do 3 sets of these, up to, again, 5 to 6 sets of these once you really get going. What's your percentage starting point? Find it out. The eccentric stuff, 60% may be your max, okay? With the heavy 1x5, again, I would not even do the drill unless that single was at 90%. We've done it where we've done 90%, dropped it, and then each set, the single went up. Maybe it went to 93% on the next one. Maybe it went to 95. Maybe it went. Every time we've done that, usually in that series, we've done it for 5 sets. We've either went to max or we went slightly above their max squat in that workout, okay? It's gonna flush those legs with a lot of blood. We like that. The legs respond to volume. They respond. So again, changing it up with that intensity and that effort, with overloading the eccentric. Again, it could be more than just a 1 second pause. It could be an 8 count descent. It could be a 3 count pause at the bottom. You could just do pauses. Come down normal, 3 to 5 second pause, then come up. I'm not a huge big pause guy at the super bottom with heavy weights. Why? I just think that compression on the lower back disc is just a little too much. I'd rather have it dissipated over that movement of time under tension. So I'm not a big super long pause guy at the bottom. At most 2 to 3 count, but nothing more than 3 count. And then again, every time I've done it more than 5 counts consistently with somebody, someone always gets something jacked up. okay? Versus you're going through an eccentric and then you're coming back up, or we just only do 3 reps of that eccentric and then we go. Guys, thank you for liking our channel. Please, we got a lot of people that are watching us, but they're not liking and subscribing to the channel. Please do both of those. Also send us some messages about what you're looking for in content. We try to answer some of the questions that people post. We can't always get to everything. Sometimes I'll do it real quick, but I can't always get to it. But please keep sending them. We may not be able to answer it immediately, but we'll save it for a later video. Thank you. Take care.